Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. In this video we're just going to have a look at Hell 21 through to 30, which does include the boss in Nightmare. So these are the two bosses that we'll be going up against today, so probably best to, first things first, I'm going to do a screenshot so that I can use that in the thumbnail. So you should have already seen that. However, these teams absolutely fine. It says use Valianters and Dooms. So we could use a Valianters team. I don't think that the Valianters team will be good enough, but what we'll do is we're going to try anyway. So we're going to jump into here, and we are actually already using the majority of the Valianters team that I would normally use anyway. Yeah, this is a real pain. This is a real pain. I guess we could go full Dooms, but I just don't think it's worth it. So again, we're already using Valianters in the other side. So let's go ahead and keep things the same. We will use this same setup as we've used previously. Yep, those are all absolutely fine. This is the Hope Tree. So as you can see, I've got 5 energy build up at the very start. So position 1 gains 25 energy after each action. This effect triggers up to 4 times per round. And at the start of battle, all allies gain 10 energy. So what this means is we should start the battle with 30 energy, because it's the same for all of these. And every time we take action in this energy slot, we should... What's going on with you? There we go. So every time we take action in this energy slot, we will build up 25 energy, which I think is very, very strong. So that's why I've got Gaia in this position now. In the previous video, I did have Astrid down there because of my poor team building skills, and also because I was too lazy to change it. But I think this is a better lineup, or at least a better position for Gaia, because again, Gaia has the ability to trigger 2 or trigger twice at least, or at least do 2 actions, which is very, very strong. So we didn't get the double action there, unfortunately, but it looks like every time we dodge an attack, is that correct? Every time we dodge an attack, No, it isn't. That was just Dullahan's normal attack. So we're getting loads of misses here. We get the attack backs, but we don't build up any energy for that because it doesn't technically count as an action. What an action is, unless it states a unit will take a secondary action, like for example, Tsukiyomi will take a secondary action if you have her up to 10 stars, I believe. She will perform that second action in PvP only. So something to keep in mind. But Gaia will, well, currently I have her as 2-2. So 2 legendary runes, 2 epic runes, which means that she's going to have 75% chance to take an additional action. So we should be building up very, very quickly with these guys as well. We do much less damage with Gaia in this spot than we have seen previously. That was up to, about 12,000 last time, or 10,000 last time. But it seems as though we have a lot of... Don't freeze me. Oh, you were so close to getting beaten down then, Katrina. I'll just chuck my photo across the room if you froze me again. I hate the freeze mechanic. I really do. But I understand why it's there. It is there specifically to counter Aphrodite. In PvP, it is there specifically to counter Aphrodite. It is what it is, you know. There's no two ways about it. Flipping it. That was a lot of damage just off a basic. So we're in round 3. We're only going to be doing our basics here, which is fine. Unfortunately, Talos still frozen, and will continue to probably be frozen for the rest of the game. Meh, it is what it is. That is a lot of damage from you, Dullahan. Flipping heck, that's a lot of damage. Tsukiyomi there doing, putting the work in. And Gaia, not bad. Not bad at all. So we're doing a lot of damage here. Like a lot of damage. But we seem to be absolutely fine. I think we can go ahead and skip this one. Yeah, round 3. There you go. Just save you 20 minutes of your life. So what we're going to do, we're going to skip ahead all the way through to we're going to skip ahead all the way through to round 25, or level 25, stage 25, whatever you want to call it. And then we'll jump into the boss. Now the boss here, I've not heard too much about these bosses because people just blitz through them, primarily because of the bug with Grace of Shadows, where it didn't remove that 100 energy. So me being the masochist that I am, decided to hold off on completing hell difficulty until the bug had been fixed. Primarily because I do like to challenge myself in this game. Here we go. So yeah, we're up to 25, but I do like to challenge myself in this game, so I held off, and a lot of other people I think would be very, very, if my videos effectively would become irrelevant after the bug's been fixed, so decided to hold off. Anyway, attacks all enemies dealing 60% damage, and when an enemy deals basic attack, it will lose 1% of its max HP, so we know how to beat that. If you've been following me for any length of time, then you should know. The key to beating this boss, the ogre specifically, is this one. After triggering dodge, retaliates with a basic attack against the attacker during battle. So we need to increase our dodge as much as possible. Fortunately, we've got Grace of Hunters to do, Grace of Shadows to do that, sorry. For every 15 energy, for every 20 energy, we gain an additional 15% dodge, and energy build-up is key. Now, against this one, the Phantom Queen, it's all about doing direct damage to the Phantom Queen herself, rather than doing damage to these minions. These minions will do 1 HP, or will lose 1 HP when they attack. They're only attacking once a round, and I think they've got about 30 health, so there's no way of taking these guys down. Unfortunately, that does block Dahlia a little bit, and it blocks Dahlia in the way that Dahlia's secondary attack is typically the Dahlia's secondary attack is typically the one that does the most damage. The reason for that is because she's copied her buffs several times by that point. We do get the dodge here, and they are attacking all of us, so we do get 3 health off these guys. And as you can see, they have a lot of health. So getting these guys down as quickly as possible is going to be the key in this matchup. And it looks like we've been able to do a lot of damage to them already, basically at 2/3 health, I would say, maybe 4/5, something like that. And now, definitely at 2/3 now, we're getting close to halfway. And that's just after 1 round. So we have been able to do many, many basic attacks. Mulan, especially good against these guys. So if you are struggling using this particular build, I would say instead of having Tsukiyomi here or having Astrid here, you take out one of those two and you put Mulan in there, because Mulan will follow up with a basic attack every time effectively, but it looks like we're getting 4 hits per anyway. So because our dodge is so high, we are able to dodge a lot of these attacks and retaliate with pretty substantial basic attacks as well. When these guys die, unfortunate, Tsukiyomi goes down, so we're not going to be able to steal enemies' buffs anymore, but we should be able to get these guys dead by the end of this round. Yeah, there we go. So enemy boss loses half his health. Shield does go back up, but we did take off half of that health anyway. And now Astrid is going to go straight for this guy. She's going to apply those 4 stacks of corrode as well. Which is going to be really, really strong with regards to pumping up Gaia and also getting as much health off this guy as possible. So as you can see, he's up to 14 stacks at the moment. This goes up to 0, so he's now not got any stacks of corrode on him. Fortunately, Astrid to reapply those stacks of corrode, Dullahan to reapply those stacks of corrode, and Gaia to reapply those stacks of corrode as well. So we are doing a lot of damage to him, and Talos here providing us additional shielding, and we did take off a little bit of his health there. I think that's absolutely fine. Unfortunately, these guys aren't doing, on their basic attacks, they aren't applying corrode except for Gaia. So he is up to 10 stacks, but our limit is 30 stacks of corrode as well. We do have all of that dodge available to us as well. And the 200 energy just been removed because we are... Oh, that was a lot, but maybe not enough. Maybe we need to wait this guy out, I think. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we're doing reasonable damage to him, but it's not super effective. We do get the response. So Gaia even doing, not Gaia, Astrid doing 20,000 million is not bad, but we can do better. I know we can do better, especially with Tsukiyomi on the team. I think I need to... I just don't think there's much else that we can do. With regards to that, maybe take out Tsukiyomi and pop Lancelot in there. Maybe put Mulan in there instead to get the burn damage on him. We'll just have to see if we lose this one, which I think we might actually do. Effectively, what you need to do, because this guy will lose, I think he loses 40% of his health every time his shields go down. His minions are going to return in about 2 rounds. So at the end of round 10, I believe that they come back, or at the start of round 10 they come back. Hopefully we should be able to get those minions dead before the end of the round. And then all we need to do then is do, I believe, 10% of this guy's overall health. When those minions go down, he does lose that 50% HP. Here we go, applying these stacks of corrode again, so important, really is. So these guys do come back at the start of round 10. They're going to start to do basic attacks to us. The basic attacks will do nothing, and we will retaliate with our basic attacks as well. So hopefully we will get there, but so that's 4. And if we do get, there's another 2, so that's 8 in total. I'm going to count these up and just see how many. There's 10 basic attacks that we've done. It's 11. Here we go. So he's just give his team a buff. Hopefully we'll get enough misses now so that we can start to do damage to those guys as well. We'll apply the attack down and also applying all of this corrode. Unfortunately, we're not applying corrode to the main boss, which is really where we need to be at. And potentially even using Lancelot as well. So we do get this. So it looks like these guys are going to go down, not in this round, but in the next round. And I think I've got to switch Tsukiyomi around with Astrid in this particular one. So if we don't win here, I'm going to switch Astrid and Tsukiyomi around so that hopefully Tsukiyomi can survive. And Astrid will do her big ultimate attack directly at that boss every single time, because she will attack the target that is opposite her as well. See, that would have been a massive hit on this boss, but again, we just don't have... Astrid is not directly opposite him. We do get 4 hits in here, which I think is very strong. Nearly dead. Here we go. So there we go. All sorted, and then this guy is down to, what, 5% HP? And we've got 3 rounds to do this 5. Attacking him directly, applying all of these corrode stacks as well. This is going to be a close one. This is going to be a very close one, I think. Yeah, so we'll get the final reset here of our relic in this next round. So in round 14, we'll get the reset. But it looks like, I think we've just about done it. I think we have just about done it. I think it will be down to these relics. It'll be down to the amount of damage the relics are giving our entire team. And then Astrid to do 23,000 million, of course. Dullahan, Talos, nowhere close. Gaia may potentially get a little bit closer. And just remember, when we go into round 15, we do not get any of the corrode triggers. We are so close. Look at this. Oh, this is a close one. Hopefully he will attack the back row. And then we should be able to do a little bit more damage to him. I think if we had Tsukiyomi on the team, it would have been much quicker. This one, again, I have no real doubts about, to be honest. I think it's going to be relatively easy to get this sorted out. But we'll just have to see. Now, as you can see, we aren't retaliating back at the moment because we no longer have the horn active in our artifacts. But we should be absolutely fine. Hopefully, Ophelia will survive for long enough. Her passive still does apply, by the way, even when she's dead, even when she goes down, which is why having her in this slot 1 is a very, very powerful effect. We even get the retaliation from Dahlia here. That's nice. It is a shame, unfortunately, that we do lose out on that and that Atrops doesn't get to do her ultimate, but again, we're going to be building up energy so quickly, I don't think it's going to matter altogether too much. So Atrops will provide us that healing, and she'll swap with Dahlia, fortunately. That's not bad. And I'm going to start to see, hopefully, massive damage from these guys as well. And it looks like, even though we're in round 2, that these guys actually do have a lot less health than I expected. I thought these guys had like 30 health, so you needed to go sort of close to 30 rounds with these guys here. But it looks like we should be done by round 10, I think. I've been wrong before, but you know, it is what it is. Now this boss here does a lot, or takes a lot of damage. I think we can only do either 1% or 5% of max HP to this boss in any given attack. So close, Ophelia. Yeah, unfortunately again, Dahlia, pretty useless on that second round. Like, Elisha here going to do massive damage. Yeah, 28,000 million, not bad at all. And again, up to 57,000 million. And Ophelia goes down. That would have been a one-shot to our team. Unfortunate. But it is what it is. And unfortunately, Elma does get the proc here for the Grace of Shadows. There. It is what it is. And we have lost out on one of our biggest energy gainers as well in Ophelia, but we still have Elisha and we still have, well, now Dahlia to build up that energy as well. And a bit of reflect there as well. I suspect that's not so bad. What time are we on? 17 minutes, yeah. We'll watch it for another couple of rounds and just see how far we can get. But Again, I think this team should be absolutely fine because we do have Elisha, Atrops and Dahlia on this back row. So we'll just have to go ahead and see how much damage we're actually doing here. And these guys are nearly down to half health. So I suspect around round 12 or round 13, that is when these guys are actually going to start to lose a lot of health. And as you can see, we're building up as well. So Elmer to start to do 5,700 million rather than the 2,000 million he was doing before. And then Elisha to respond, 35,000 million, not bad. I think those need to be up though. Those numbers do need to be up. Either that or that's the max that she can do, but it's very unlikely. Yes, these guys are losing 1 health. They're below half health, 6. So we should see these minions go down in round 12. It's a shame you can't go ahead and skip. That's a lot of damage. Whew. And a double as well. And a triple. Flipping heck. Yeah, that was a lot of damage in that round. That was a very, very strong round for us. Again, not bad. Not bad. We take those. Yeah, and this basic attack round is going to do absolutely nothing to us. So we'll just have to see what round we beat this boss in. Again, if we can get past round 12, these guys should go down. That will be a given on every single attempt that you do. If you can get to round 12 against this boss, that's where you should start to see a lot more damage popping off. And because of the damage reduction that this boss has, when these guys go down, she's going to start to lose. She's going to start to lose a lot of defense as well. And even Elmer, man, he's doing 120,000 million. That is actually not bad at all. How much Elisha going to do? Yeah, so I think that will be the maximum damage that we can do to this boss. Is that 120,000 million per hit. So this boss must have like 12 trillion health, something like that, if we're only able to do 1% or maybe even 5% of the boss's overall health. So we've got to do that 20 times. And it looks like, I think if Dahlia had hit then, that would have been a big swing. And yeah, we're back down to 14 million. Not doing altogether too much now. And down to 806 million. That is pitiful numbers compared to what we were just doing. But again, it's because of Atrops. So Atrops here really provided a lot of damage. MVP, I would say, against this particular boss. She is required. You can also use Cleo in this spot. If you don't, or if you do have a copy of Cleo, up to about up to 1 star probably. But again, if you don't have her, you don't have her. Just use Atrops. Atrops is absolutely fine in this position. As you can see, we're doing a lot of damage to this boss. I think in the next round, that's when it's going to properly pop off. So we are up to round 11. These guys have very low healths, which means that we should be good, I think. Yeah, I said we were going to watch for another 3 minutes, but we're so close. We're so close to beating this guy now. There we go. So minions have gone down. This boss should lose a lot of damage reduction, and this is where we should see, yeah, this is where Dahlia is going to really pop off. Yeah, this is mental. No, 414. It's because the effect had worn off, I think, of the Watcher's Pledge. But again, we'll have to see. We'll have to see if we carry on doing this really super low damage, then we're not going to win. We need big hits. This is not going to be a big hit, I don't think. No, because we've not got Atrops passive, unfortunately. This should, over the next 2 rounds, this is where we're going to see a lot of the damage coming in. And I think as well, Splash Axe might be required in order to beat this boss. If you are suffering with damage, and Splash Axe will really help you out against this boss, because not only does it do your not only do you do your damage, but then Splash Axe will do 100% of that damage again to this boss. So we would do this 120 million twice. Just something to keep in mind there. And yeah, that's 25. Let's go ahead and power through. And we're just going to get to 30, and then I think we'll call that a video. Yeah, so thanks very much for watching. I do hope you have a fantastic day, whatever it is you're doing. Let me know your thoughts on the patch notes and the changes that have been made. Again, I've gone through those patch notes previously, and they did, like I said, a bit of a shadow maintenance on the Grace of Shadows, which means that you no longer trigger unlimited dodge and unlimited ultimate attacks, which is, again, is why a lot of people were able to beat Apex. It's not because they have great skill, and it's not because they're really good at the game. It's because of the Grace of Shadows. There's no two ways about it. I will not be able to beat Grace of Shadows now. I will not be able to beat Apex now because they've made that change. I think so anyway. I think you do need at least a 5-star banner in order to have a chance at beating the Apex difficulty. But again, we'll just have to see. Now this is going to be a bit easier, I think, than we saw against that boss. Hopefully, we should see. So we do lower attack. We do apply all this corrode, and we keep lowering attack. That is really important. It's really important because every time the enemy crits, they're going to heal based on the amount of damage that they do. But if, say, for example, they're not doing very much damage at all, then they shouldn't be doing a lot of, they shouldn't be healing a lot, if that makes sense. So again, this can be very tricky. You can use units that steal healing, like Catherine, like Audrey, for example. Those units will steal healing for themselves from the enemy. So if you are looking to, if you do need to use those units, I would suggest they are very strong, very good. And here we're starting to outscale the enemy at the moment. So as you can see, we're healing a lot back and gaining a lot of attack and defense with thanks to Grace of Hunters. Even Tsukiyomi here doing a massive amount of damage. Gaia to do a lot, and no double, unfortunately, from her, because she would have activated straight after anyway. Astrid hopefully should do a lot of damage. A lot of damage to Karnak there, basically killing him off. And the corrode's going to hit like a truck at the end of this round. So we will miss a lot of these attacks. We'll respond with all of our basic attacks, as you can see, doing a lot of damage to these enemies. Karnak here, not able to do very much at all. Enemy does have a lot of shielding, which might protect them. Yeah, it might protect them from the corrode damage. All that shielding can't protect against Astrid though. You try as you might, you cannot protect against Astrid. So I don't think this is going to go altogether too long anymore. There we go. So we get the double from Gaia. Yeah, I think we should be pretty well sorted on this one. Going to see Dullahan nearly finish things off. All that corrode has been applied though, so we should see an end to this once and for all. Yep, so both our frontline units go down, and it is just Themis and Gwyn now as well. And we're all attacking Gwyn, because why not? Except for Gaia. She knows the priorities. And Themis still doesn't go down. You know what, I'm just going to skip. We're done there. We're done. And this team, we've seen it in action plenty of times before. It's going to get to round 2 and 3. They're just not going to be able to take the damage that Dahlia is dishing out. So, yeah, round 3, easy enough. And that's it from me. So, yeah, you have a great day.